Hello and welcome to The Breathing Room. And I would like to welcome a good friend of mine, Meenal Patil. Just tell us a little bit about your journey.
Today's topic is body positivity and body image issues. I'm much more confident, definitely, than I was in my 20s or my 30s.
Really? You look pretty confident back then too.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as you mature, you do get a different type of confidence.
Right. Excuses, but
you'll get there.
I'll get there.
I know you have long days.
The breathing room is going to help me get there.
Yes.
It's the hustler mentality. If you have it when you're in your teens, then you're just going to have it throughout, and then you don't know what to do when you don't have enough work. Thanks to podcasters like you, who are sort of encouraging and empowering people with a healthy state of mind.
Hello, you're Hema Malini, have nice hips and stuff. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
I'm so happy to see girls of all sizes wear all clothes.
Yes.
And you're happily in a good relationship.
Yes.
Happily married.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I just want to say that anybody who is watching, first learn to love yourself before you start learning how to love everybody around you. And if you want people to really love you, then you need to start with yourself first. So yeah, self-love is super important.
Hello and welcome to The Breathing Room. I'm Rita Date, your host. I'm a yoga and meditation coach, nutritionist, and author. On the show, we talk about M&M, Mind, Nutrition, Movement, 3 pillars for a healthy life. You will find practical information all backed by science. Today, we're going to talk about a topic that is not discussed enough: body positivity, mental health, and living in a society where you are judged mostly from the outside and not from the inside. So we have some beauty norms instilled in us. Prior to 1990, the beauty norms, women were a little more curvaceous. When India opened up, then Miss World and Miss Universe were Indians, and our market opened up for beauty products. So there's many factors. The beauty norms slowly began to change. Thinness was given a priority. Years later, we also had a Bollywood actress and a nutritionist talking about size 0. So all this has led to everybody wanting to look a certain way. But the fact is, we have different gaits. We walk differently. We have different voices. We have different in our hands. We have different, it's no natural to have a different body type. But that isn't considered. Everybody wants to look a certain way. And people can be quite mean about it. Everyone from during school time, kids can be mean, all the way to your, grandmothers at home can make some remarks. And all that takes a toll on your happiness, your mental health. So we're going to talk a little bit about that today. We're also going to talk about what obesity is and the facts about obesity. So we're going to have a great show today. And I would like to welcome a good friend of mine, Meenal Patil. She and I go way back. We have been friends for many years. We used to work together. And I knew her as, just out of college. She was young and confident, and I used to really admire her grit and bubbliness and just getting on with everybody, getting along with everybody, and making her way. So Meenal is a radio jockey. She's been in this field for more than 20 years. And Meenal, like I said in the intro, I really admired your spunkiness, and you're just out of college and so confident.
Yeah.
So, just tell us a little bit about your journey. With our topic today, what the topic is. So tell us your journey about your schooling and then how you got into your profession.
Basically I was born and raised in Dubai, and the radio there was far more evolved than there was back then in India. And in fact, there was no TV. It was always radio when I was growing up. So my mom actually manifested this dream for me that I should become a radio announcer. That's what it was called way back then. And ever since then, of course, I've always wanted to be with a radio station. And every time I found an opportunity, I dived into it. And I finally found a job. We both found a job in the same radio station. So that's how I became a radio jockey. Today's topic is body positivity and body image issues. And I think today, after I've for the last 2-3 years at least, I've realized that when I was 25, I would look at pictures of me when I was 20 and I'd be like, oh my God, I looked so pretty back then. Why don't I look like that now? And when I was 30, again, I'd look back at pictures of me when I was 25, 27, and I'd say, oh my God, I look so pretty back then. I was so thin. Why can't I be that? Now I've put on so much weight. And this process went on. You know what I mean? And every time I did that, I just would constantly feel better about myself in the past than I did in the present. When I was 40, I was collecting videos and pictures of me for a reel I was making on Instagram about just my life and my journey. And then I realized while I was making that video that at every stage, I never enjoyed my present body. At every stage, I would say I was better 3 years ago. But 3 years ago, I was still saying I was better 3 years ago. And that's when I realized that I need to stop saying that about myself. And it's a process. Of course, it's not something that happens to you overnight. But today, I think I'm very comfortable with the way I am. I never say that, oh, I was so much prettier back then. I still feel pretty. I still feel like I look good. And I'm much more confident, definitely, than I was in my 20s or my 30s.
Really? You look pretty confident back then too.
Oh, did I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think as you mature, you do get a different type of confidence.
Right. So today I feel like, I am the way I am. I'm not doing enough for my fitness. I know that. I'm a workaholic, and I think that's what sort of pushes me back when it comes to my fitness. But like they say, excuses. But
you'll get there.
I'll get there.
I know you have long days.
The breathing room is going to help me get there.
Yes. Yeah, I know you start your day. You're at the office on air at 7 a.m.
Yes, I am.
And then you're out. You don't get out till like 4.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to go on shoots.
Yeah.
And then I know you do some translation work
yes,
that you enjoy.
Yes.
So you got to do a little less work, basically.
Yes. Yeah. It's the hustler mentality. If you have it when you're in your teens, then you're just going to have it throughout, and then you don't know what to do when you don't have enough work.
Yeah.
I think I'm just very restless when there's no work.
Okay. No, you made such a good point. I have felt about like that too. Like, you look back at your old photos and then you're thinking like, why was I so unhappy back then? I look really good.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, that's a good message to tell, especially people at all ages.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
As I'm getting older, you look at different things now, like the wrinkles or something. But you just have to accept it and move on. And, it's life. You're lucky you're here.
Yeah.
And you're here, basically.
Correct.
And in good health.
Yeah.
And so, but body image, how do we get women to have better body image? Everybody, when they're like, even thin people, they think I have a little stomach here, I have a little fat here.
Yeah.
What do we do? How do we do it?
Unfortunately, I've met a lot of people who, almost 90% of the people I meet are not happy with the way they look. But fortunately, I've met, of the 90% of people I've met in my life, have never made me feel bad about the way I look. So I know I follow a lot of body positivity influencers on Instagram who talk about their journey, and they talk about how people made them feel so bad. They bullied them in school or college for being fat. But in my head, I'm like, how does one be so rude? How does one be so unkind? It's just beyond me. And every time somebody tells me that somebody said I was fat and I wasn't supposed to do this, and I was like, play that conversation out for me, please, tell me. And you get stumped. They're stumped. Every time somebody talks to them about their body image issues, the receiving person is stumped, which is why some of the most fiercely independent women I know have not been able to retort or fight back to those comments, because at first you don't expect people to be so rude to you. But unfortunately, my experience in that domain has been really negligible. I'm probably so happy with myself that even if someone's really made a remark in passing, it hasn't registered with me. You know what I mean? I'm that ignorant, I can say, or blissfully unaware of the fact that he may have made a comment about my weight. But So I haven't had so many experiences, thankfully, touch wood, with people who have been mean to me about the way I look or about my body in that sense. So I don't know what to say to people who have been receiving those comments, but I just feel like the only reason I feel okay or good about myself is the fact that I know I'm great at what I do. That's where my confidence comes from. A lot of people are stuck in jobs that they don't like. A lot of people are stuck at home because many women probably aren't allowed to work because of the way their family is or whatever.
And you're happily in a good relationship,
yes,
happily married.
Yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of that confidence comes from the space that I am in. And I've always never compromised on that. You know me for the last 20 years. If I'm unhappy in a space, I will get out of it. Like, I will never let a toxic environment control me. So that way I feel that sort of makes me feel more confident about who I am and what I look like, because in all other aspects of my life, I'm in a happy space, touch wood.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
So ladies and gentlemen, because men also have body image issues, please pay attention to that. You know, this you can escape it, and just try to enjoy what you do,
just
enjoy your life
with whatever you do.
Yeah. Whatever makes you happy, whether it's a hobby or your work or your friends, family, whatever it is. Right?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have faced body image issues. You know, since I was a kid, I was always chubby, and in college I lost the weight. But then, you know, hormones take over. You kept gaining and losing kids with, you know, pregnancy and this and that. And you know, I used to, you know, I grew up in the U.S., but when I came to India, you know, all the actresses were pretty curvaceous. Yeah. But then they would tell me that I'm big. I didn't understand that. Hello, you Hema Malini, you know, have nice hips and stuff. What's wrong with me? So I think now the beauty norms have changed, unfortunately. Yes. Everybody has to look the same. Same hair, same makeup, same everything. Right? And that's unfortunate.
It is.
Because
it really is.
We should be more individualistic and this thing.
I think up until a couple of years ago, that beauty norm was this like size 0, and Kareena had become size 0, and like everybody wanted to be thin and skinny and everything else. But I feel like thanks to podcasters like you, who are sort of encouraging and empowering people with like a healthy state of mind, and as long as you're healthy and fit, it doesn't matter what your weight is or, you know, how you look.
Right.
I think that people are becoming more and more aware of that. So, you know, have you noticed a little change over the last year and a half, I feel? Yeah,
before you never saw, I'm so happy to see girls of all sizes wear all clothes.
Yes.
Earlier, you know, nobody wore clothes unless you were thin and like you had to be. Now I'm so happy to see girls in shorts and tops, whatever they want to wear. You should wear. You should not let your size hold you back.
Correct.
So that's one good change I've seen.
Yeah.
There is a movement in the US which is kind of nuanced. It's called Health at Every Size.
Right.
So that is they take health in the sense that just because you're a certain size doesn't mean you have good health. You could be very skinny and have like diabetes or different markers. Or you can be at a larger body and have excellent health. But unfortunately, you know, that isn't being shown.
Correct.
But there is a movement which has its pros and cons, because you know, obesity has shown to increase certain diseases, metabolic diseases, etc., etc. So there's a fine line. But like you said, the mind is number one. Right? Right. So if that is in order, everything kind of falls in place.
Yes, right? For sure. Yeah, definitely.
Well, do you do any mind practices for yourself? What do you?
No, unfortunately, I think I'm horrible actually with looking after myself. I feel like
Meenal, you can't say this on air. We're supposed to say. But yes, but you have your own way of doing things.
So I think for me, a lot of it comes from the fact that I love to surround myself with people who do fun things. I love to learn stuff. So every time I feel like I'm not being productive, I like get online and learn something. I'm learning Spanish on Duolingo.
Oh.
And like, yeah, so for me, it's always about doing new things. A lot of my colleagues who are in their 40s today find it so difficult to sort of get along with my younger colleagues who are in their 20s, because I work at a radio station, so all the interns are in their 20s, the younger producers are in their 20s, but I get along like a house on fire with them because I just have so much to learn from them, and I love their life, and I love how they are, and I love like how, you know, they're such go-getters and they're so ambitious, and I constantly felt like, wow, you know, like
you saw yourself 20 years ago.
Yeah, I see myself in them, and I'm saying I'm so happy that this fire is still there with like these 20-year-olds today. So yeah, that's how I stay, like, at least mentally, I feel like that's how I stay fit. That's how I stay healthy. Like, I never think about myself as a 42-year-old and like, oh my God, I think now my time's up. And I say that in jest a lot of times, but I've never really meant it. I've never been serious about the fact that, you know, I'm 42. I think that's precisely why I also feel like I've neglected my health, because I still feel like I'm in my 20s. I'm like, okay, my body can handle anything, you know. So that, yeah, but I need to look after my body a little bit more,
Yeah,
I feel.
yeah, you will.
For sure.
You will.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
Yes.
Off air.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's really good to know. Do you have any advice for people who may be in that space where people are not as nice to them, or they're not feeling very good about their body? Anything you can tell them?
Get rid of these people from your life, first of all. If you have friends that don't make you feel nice about yourself, please do not hang with such people. You're better off alone than being with people like these who, you know, make you feel so bad about yourself. Secondly, always do stuff in a day, every day. If your job doesn't give you happiness, do something that does every single day. And it really could be anything. I mean, if you're into fitness and you like to go out to play a sport, or if you like to read, if you like to listen to music, dance, whatever it is. But if you have a job where you spend almost 8 to 10 hours of your life every single day in a job that doesn't give you happiness, then you have to find something else that does. I understand not everybody can leave their jobs and like have jobs where they enjoy themselves, but like I'm just saying, find something every day that makes you happy, and stay away from people that are negative around you all the time. I think that's the only way forward.
That's such good advice. So before we wrap up, any last thoughts, anything we didn't cover that you'd like to add?
I just want to say that anybody who is watching, first learn to love yourself before you start learning how to love everybody around you. And if you want people to really love you, then you need to start with yourself first. So yeah, self-love is super important.
That's very good advice.
Yeah.
And where can people find you?
I'm on Instagram. I'm called Meenal V Patil, MeenalVPatil, or you can look for RJ Meenal. And
I'll put everything in the show notes.
Yes, that's where you'll find me.
And on air?
And on air on Fever FM, 94.3 FM, every morning 7 to 11 a.m. My show is called Fever Breakfast Show.
It's a very good show. And you bring in a lot of like on topics, like the current topics,
Yes,
which I like.
Yes,
yeah,
I do. Yeah. Thank you.
So thank you again. Is talked about and navigating life when okay. Today we're going to talk about yeah, I'm doing this for the bloopers.